Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of MPWF Underground. I am your host, as always, Dwayne James Johnny Feelgood, and we are on the road to Destiny and Crossroads, as well as WrestleMania 12. Thank you for tuning into the show. It is going to be an exciting episode with a huge main event, as John Smith, representing Team Bloodshed, takes on the Avenger, MPWF legend, representing Cash Money Incorporated. And this all stems from Shane Riley costing Ricky Cash the Royal Rumble matchup, Ricky Cash costing Shane Riley the Light Heavyweight Championship match. And again, if you haven't seen Annihilation, it is up right now on YouTube. We got Super Slam Showdown coming up after this as well. MPWF War is up on YouTube too, ladies and gentlemen, so make sure you check out all those shows, and let's get prepared for another edition of Late Night MPWF Underground. It is a Thursday night, folks, and we have got some amazing action here, and we are starting things off with the European Champion, the modern day warrior, Tom Sawyer himself, making his way to the ring. And if anybody has a gripe, if anybody has a bone to pick, it is the European Champion, Tom Sawyer. Not once, but twice now, Aries of the Generation of SCUM has screwed Tom Sawyer out of an opportunity at the World Championship. Let's not forget, the opportunity to be in the Royal Rumble matchup on War to not only win the North American Championship, but to challenge for the world title against Lamar James Jackson in the Royal Rumble. Tom Sawyer was taken out by Aries. And then, on this past edition of War, Tom Sawyer had a chance to be in the Gauntlet matchup to compete to either challenge for the MPWF World title at Destiny or to go into the Elimination Chamber at Crossroads, and once again was taken out by Aries before the match even began. So Tom Sawyer, current reigning and defending European Champion, two-time European Champion, has got to get some stuff off of his chest here, folks. And honestly, I think he's going to be calling out Aries, and can you blame him? Can you blame him? A lot is going on here in the MPWF. As I mentioned at the start of this show, we are on the road to WrestleMania 12. Everybody is jockeying for position because everybody wants to be a part of that special card, folks. It's going to be one of the biggest WrestleManias we've ever had on YouTube. As Tom Sawyer says, I'm going to be abrupt tonight, but I've had enough of Aries and SCUM. SCUM is clearly scared of what I can bring to the table. Aries has been attacking me for quite some time now. Firstly, he cost me the North American title, the Royal Rumble match, and then he cost me a chance to enter the Elimination Chamber. Aries, you came out to ringside and confronted me last episode. Come out and confront me now. I'll put the European title on the line. Come out here and face me. And again, Tom Sawyer is a real Southern boy, ladies and gentlemen. He is not afraid of a fight, and he's not afraid to call a man out. Tom Sawyer fights for what is right in not just the MPWF, but in life in general. And he's going, Aries, if you want to attack me from behind, how about you come out here and meet me face to face? But wait a second. That is not the music of Aries, folks. That is the legend of wrestling, the Iron Sheik, who is back out here again. But I don't even know how this man keeps showing up. I don't know who he's speaking to. Is this a Meredith Greatcall? She's been going through some controversy of her own, folks. General managers Brian Adams and KK Crab not happy with her, but the Iron Sheik, out to break her back and make you humble, is out here, and I was not expecting this at all. You can probably hear it in my voice, the grin on my face, as the Iron Sheik makes his way to the ring here. If he calls him Bubba or Pop, so you know, like, I'll never say no to the Iron Sheik being in a wrestling ring. This goes back to a joke I was talking about Demolition and DJ being old, yet the Iron Sheik is here. So I think I have to accept the fact that I've become Uncle DJ. I'm old, ladies and gentlemen. I am going crazy for the Iron Sheik making his way to the ring. And he's confronting Tom Sawyer here. So this is Rusev before Rusev. I'm telling you right now. The Iron Sheik says, I don't know who this Aries bum is, but I hear you're giving out free European title shots. Be a man and fight the Iron Sheik for the European title right now, Bubba. I said I would pop. And he wants a shot at the European title. And Tom Sawyer says, you know what? I'm looking for a fight tonight. So let's battle, you and me, for the European title. Well, we just need to make sure that we get the go-ahead from the higher-ups. And I think we're about to start off this episode with a European Championship match. And there it is, folks. It is on the line. The European Championship. Iron Sheik versus Tom Sawyer to start off MPWF Underground. You never know what's going to happen in the MPWF, in the Underground. But could you imagine if the Iron Sheik is to walk away tonight with the European Championship? It would be the greatest moment in MPWF history. Iron Sheik still keeps talking about wanting to show up on Super Slam Showdown, and me, other people are trying our hardest to make sure that he doesn't show up there, because you want to talk about shenanigans, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't know, Super Slam Showdown is our specific kids show, ladies and gentlemen. It is a core wrestling show targeted towards children. So the Iron Sheik cannot be breaking backs and making people humble on that show. That's why he's right here on Late Night MPWF Underground. Yeah, it's the Iron Sheik in 2K26. I do not have the game, so let me know if he's on the game, because if they remove the Iron Sheik, well, that's another reason to not buy the game, ladies and gentlemen, because the Iron Sheik is one of the best of all time, and a clothesline there by Tom Sawyer. And now Tom Sawyer there with an elbow drop, and he's going to be taking his frustrations out on the Sheik tonight. And a nice leg twist there, dragon screw, as I was trying to look for the word, folks, but you know, things get a little crazy here on Thursday nights. When we're doing MPWF Underground, we could talk about any and everything. You know, Tom Sawyer wants to talk about the fact that he has lost out many an opportunities. I was mentioning his entrance because of Aries, because of the Generation of SCUM. You notice how they're creeping up everywhere here in the MPWF. On War, on Annihilation. You know, they've just kind of burst at the seams in the second half of 2025. And 2026 looks to be their year, and at some point soon, the MPWF roster is going to have to put a stop to this faction. And we're hoping that with Marcus Eagles facing Chase Stevens for the MPWF World title at Destiny, and then he meets his brother at Crossroads, but if he wins at Destiny, the championship will be on the line, making it a triple threat match, adding Benson Clement to the matchup. So a lot going on there for the MPWF World title. We still don't know what's happening with the CW World Heavyweight Championship. You know, in my opinion, I believe that Shane Carter deserves a shot at the championship for how he was screwed by Lamar James Jackson. But some people believe that Shane Carter has, you know, had a couple world title shots and quite frankly failed. And I don't think it's his fault, but you got to start asking questions. How often can you give a man a title shot? And you know, Lamar James Jackson, we're happy to hear that. We know that Chris Champ, the winner of the 2026 Royal Rumble, is going to be challenging for the CAW World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania. So that's making it 2 times the Royal Rumble winner has chosen the CAW World Heavyweight title, which also lends into the situation with KK Cram and losing the MPWF World title to War. Meredith Grey wanting a new start to Annihilation, wanted to bring a new World Championship, and she's still interested in that. And you know, we joked about a universal title coming to the MPWF, but let me know in the comment section, do you agree with Meredith? Do you think it's time for a new championship, a new era on Annihilation? Or do you believe in history, tradition, and lineage, and that KK Cram needs to find an Annihilation wrestler to get back that World Championship? And as we saw in Annihilation, between Cypher, Angel Ortiz, and Klaus, there is a strong shout that that title comes back to Annihilation at WrestleMania. That's if they can win the Elimination Chamber match, that is. You've got Rhino Rick Jones in there, Zeus, Kane Knight, as Iron Sheik is working on Tom Sawyer here, and there's a reverse atomic drop. You know, we're discussing what's been going on in this past week of the MPWF, but we're going to continue to stay focused on this European Championship matchup, as Iron Sheik with a clothesline, and Tom Sawyer able to land on his feet. I mean, Tom Sawyer is still in his cowboy gear, ladies and gentlemen. He ain't even taking in wrestling gear, and now look at this. And oh, what a gut buster there, and that one could put a stop to Mr. Sheiky Baby himself there with the cover 2, and a kick out there by the Iron Sheik. And like I'm saying to you, you know, you guys look at Rusev. Iron Sheik was Rusev in the 70s and the 80s, ladies and gentlemen. That is Sheik Rusev, similar character. Oh, what a back suplex there by the Iron Sheik. And now he's stomping the back, and here it comes. It's time to make the boy humble. It's time for the camel clutch by the Iron Sheik. And he has won countless championships. He has won countless matches. And oh, wait a minute. Tom Sawyer able to escape, and a shot there to the midsection. where Tom Sawyer was able to get that gut buster, but there is the tilt-a-whirl tombstone pile driver by the European champion Tom Sawyer with the cover. 2, 3, and Tom Sawyer picks up the victory and retains his championship. Well, that's got to feel good for Tom Sawyer, ladies and gentlemen. He is, again, frustration, but he's able to pick up the win here tonight, continue that momentum. Again, Tom Sawyer's looking to become double champion. You know, you remember, well, I was going to say, do you remember? This is about to age me again. Kurt Angle was the Eurocontinental champion. So was D'Lo Brown back in the day, folks. You know, it's not Eurocontinental. It would be the North American and European Championship, but Tom Sawyer's looking to become 2 belts Tom here on MPWF War. And not to mention that, we'll talk about it as the show goes on as well, but there was the announcement on MPWF War that Antonio Goldman injured, and we've had to once again vacate a championship, and it's the North American title. So again, we'll talk more about that as the show goes on. But what a tombstone pile driver there by the modern day warrior Tom Sawyer. And it wasn't easy. He said the Iron Sheik, a legend of the game, certainly brought the fight to Tom Sawyer here tonight. And that's what the Underground is all about. It's about proving yourself. It's the proving grounds of the Major Pain Wrestling Federation. So we still got a massive main event. John Smith versus the Avenger here to come tonight. We're going to see Malcolm Gray in action, the nephew of Mason Gray. The Blackhearts will be in action as well. Scorpion Zynda will be in action. We got a lot coming here tonight on Underground. Wait, hold on a minute though. There's the general manager of MPWF War, Brian Adams. And Tom Sawyer was looking for some answers, and he might get it here tonight. And Brian says, I'm getting sick of Aries and the entire Generation of SCUM as well. Are you sure you can handle what I'm about to do for you? On the next episode of War, you will face Aries in his debut match. But there's a lot of hype surrounding him and you, so I'm going to make this a European title matchup. So there you have it, folks. On the next episode of War 23, the European Championship will be on the line. Aries makes his debut against Tom Sawyer. And Sawyer says, oh, I'm ready. Aries cannot keep getting away with this. And I have to agree. The one thing I do disagree with, though, is Aries has caused all this issues, and yeah, there's a lot of hype surrounding him, but now he has a European Championship match. I don't know if I agree with that with Brian Adams. If it was up to me, I would say the title shouldn't be on the line. But if you want to see more of this action and this match coming up, follow us at MPWF Wrestling on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. We are over 550 subscribers. We are on the road to 600. Keep it coming, ladies and gentlemen. It is free 99. Means it is free. All you got to do is click that subscribe button, and that's it. And then you can get notifications. You get to enjoy the Major Pain Wrestling Federation right when a video comes out. Join us in the live chats. We love to see you there. But for me, a little bit of controversy in that decision giving Aries a title match. But here is Kane Knight, one of the men who was qualified for the Elimination Chamber. And he says, Youngblood, even though I'm competing in the Elimination Chamber Crossroads, I haven't forgotten about the European title. You didn't pin me last episode. I want the European title back, and I'm going to get it. Just make sure it's you that I face. Aries doesn't deserve it. I'll get my payback on him, but it's you I want to face for the European title. Well, again, there's a lot of history here between Kane Knight and Tom Sawyer. And as he just mentioned on the previous episode, Tom Sawyer pinned Greg James in the triple threat match to become the new European champion. And the European title has not been able to stay with one owner for very long, and it has been the most sought after and changed championship in the MPWF. But Kane Knight letting the world know that he ain't forgot about that European title. But here we go as we continue the action in the Underground, and we switch from War to the Annihilation brand, and here is the world fighter himself, Scorpion Zynda. Again, you listen to his name, the world fighter. He is well traveled. He's competed in almost every country you can think of on the planet. But Scorpion Zynda has not been able to get the success that he wants, or quite frankly, I think he deserves in the MPWF. Richard Hawkins has been trying to get him to join the Richard Hawkins family. It was a couple episodes back that Scorpion Zynda beat Richard Hawkins, and Hawkins has seen the potential. Hawkins is a former multi-time world champion, the legend and future Hall of Famer, and he believes Scorpion Zynda has what it takes. Scorpion Zynda was a part of Gen X, and his tag team partner is Marcus Eagle, the current MPWF world champion. Zynda has not won a championship belt since then, and it seems like I'm putting down the man before he competes here tonight, which is not the purpose of what I'm doing, but it's just the fact that the potential is there, and I've said it before. You know, talent is as cheap as table salt, ladies and gentlemen, and Scorpion Zynda needs to prove to the world that he belongs here, because again, we got new superstars coming to the MPWF all the time. The chopping block is right around the corner for Scorpion Zynda. He has got to step his game up. He has been a staple here in MPWF Underground. All of the MPWF sickos that watch us here on this show enjoy his action, enjoy his matches, but he's got to step up big time here. And he's got a big challenge ahead of him against the Paragon, Jay Pierce himself. Jay Pierce looking to establish himself here in the MPWF, part of the Superstar Initiative, bringing in wrestlers from the independent scene to the MPWF. Jay Pierce had a very good matchup with Cole Quinn, in which he just about lost to Cole Quinn. And Jay Pierce himself wants to put himself on the map, I should say. And a victory against Scorpion Zynda tonight could do just that. Jay Pierce, a former BCW Tag Team Champion. If you want to see BCW action, we got it on our other channel, Core Wrestling Global. Genesis is out now on YouTube. Later tonight, you'll see a highlight video of that show. Make sure you go check it out. Incredible show. Wayne Level, the Blood Brothers, all on that event. As well as El Negro Maximo was on the pre-show. You do not want to miss that, folks. Now, both men fighting in the Colorado tie-up. Again, very well-versed wrestlers. We know Jay Pierce has spent a lot of time in Japan. Scorpion Zynda traveled all around the world. Zynda definitely with more of a high-flying style. Jay Pierce a lot more grounded. Zynda works on that side headlock here. But let's talk about the North American Championship whilst these two men are jockeying for position here. The North American title has been vacated thanks to the assault that Lamar James Jackson gave to Antonio Goldman. And I know that he's the world champion in his WrestleMania season, but just like Aries getting a shot at the European title, I don't think enough is done to Lamar James Jackson for what he did. We've lost the champion. We have to vacate a title. Look at that athleticism there by Jay Pierce. Cannot discount that right now as these men are exchanging holds with each other. But can you really argue with Scum now? Everything the Scum has done has resulted in them being successful here in the MPWF. There seems to be no repercussions for their actions. Marcus, world champion. Lamar, world champion. And again, Lamar Goldman himself, the godson of Lamar James Jackson, he got his repercussions because his brother specifically coming after him. But I think management needs to step up and do something more here, if you ask me. And that might get me knocked off the commentary table here for a very controversial opinion, and that right there was controversial. Using his boot in an illegal manner to Jay Pierce. But it's some food for thought here. You know, do you think that enough is being done about what the Generation of SCUM has done? Again, Cypher lost the Royal Rumble, got eliminated by a man that wasn't even in the match, folks. Now, snapmare takeover there by Jay Pierce. Jay Pierce seems to be out-wrestling Scorpion Zynda in this matchup, and now look at him applying the pressure there with that chin lock. And now a nice reversal into the hammerlock goes Scorpion Zynda. Both men really trying to feel each other out. Zynda, oh, nice turnaround into the snapmare of his own and got himself a chin lock on Jay Pierce. And now look at this. Zynda telling Jay Pierce that you are not a better technical wrestler than I am. But a reversal just as I said that by the Paragon. Jay Pierce now working on that arm. You see the way how he's got the elbow there. And now Zynda having to resort to an elbow of his own and a clothesline. And a bit more vicious by Scorpion Zynda. Typically Zynda would try to win with a wrestling hold. But you see Zynda mounting Jay Pierce, and you know that those words from Richard Hawkins are cycling through his mind. You know he is watching Tora with the YouTube Championship, even the defense of Cecilia Perez by Richard Hawkins on Annihilation. And Zynda's got to be thinking to himself, you know what, if I just join the family, maybe there's a new light heavyweight championship. Again, maybe with their help, someone can finally stop Angel Ortiz and take that Zero Limits title. As Zynda now goes in for that Boston Crab here on Paragon Jay Pierce. But there's also the angel on his shoulder, which is saying that you would have to sell a part of your soul to join the Richard Hawkins family. Are you prepared for that? And now look, Jay Pierce measuring him, and what a knee to the face, and a clothesline there by Jay Pierce. And meanwhile, Jay Pierce can care less about any of that. He is focused on this one here in the Underground. And Jay Pierce there with a meteor out the second rope and an elbow right back to Scorpion Zynda. Just as the crowd was cheering Jay Pierce, he told them, don't cheer for me, I don't need your help. You know, Jay Pierce would typically be a person that someone like Richard Hawkins would be interested in, and it would do wonders for his career here in the MPWF. As he hooks a leg here on Scorpion Zynda. Zynda kicking out though at 1. And how about that light heavyweight title matchup between the Scout Supernova? I've got it down, folks. I ain't ever going to do that to Charlie Jean. Again, he is the first ever light heavyweight champion in history. He made it. He made history, folks. Defeating the Savage Shane Riley in an incredible opening matchup. And if you have not seen it, once this show is done, go and check out Annihilation episode 22, because it was fantastic. As well as that main event, we started strong and ended even stronger. Cypher vs Max Payne in a no disqualification matchup was a click-per-view main event worthy match, folks. It was insane. Cypher entering the Elimination Chamber after beating Max Payne. It's Jay Pierce now gonna whip Scorpion Zynda into the buckle on a clothesline and drops him to the floor. You know, I like this by Jay Pierce. So this is very impressive by Paragon. And an elbow drop off the top rope there by Jay Pierce. Like I said, if I'm watching, Richard Hawkins is watching. The Generation of SCUM is also watching, you know? Maybe someone else is looking at getting some help. What about the beautiful angels who could use a third man? You know, they wouldn't be opposed to being with Jay Pierce, I don't think. As now Scorpion Zynda, oh, what a beautiful Blue Thunder bomb to Jay Pierce. And a kick out there at the last second. And Zynda realizing I gotta step my game up here again. Cannot suffer another loss here in the Underground. And a nice Hurricane Rana there by Scorpion Zynda. And Zynda got Jay Pierce to his feet. And now Zynda, he's good. What's he gonna go for here? As Zynda throws Jay Pierce to the outside of the ring, and you see Pierce tried to hang on, and he couldn't. And Zynda now off the ropes, dives through, and look at this, a DDT! And that's what I'm telling you. Scorpion Zynda is phenomenal. But he suffers from something that a lot of athletes suffer from, and that's not being able to get the job done at the right time. And Scorpion Zynda can pull out moves like that, which is unbelievable. But he's got to get the win, and there's the Swanton. But Jay Pierce somehow moving out the way. You can see the bruise and the welts forming on his face after that DDT. But Zynda fights back with the dropkick. And Zynda now sending Jay Pierce into the buckle. And oh gosh, no. And now the Paragon with a clothesline, and there's a Spanish fly by Scorpion Zynda. Off the dime. Do you know how hard that is to pull that out? Just off the ground there like that, and a kick to the face. And oh, wait a minute. The World Fighter could be looking for the standing 450 splash, and he got it, and he got all of it. And could this be it? 2, 3, and Scorpion Zynda snapped at the end there, ladies and gentlemen. It's like he woke up from a trance, dived to the outside of the ring, tornado DDT, Spanish fly, and then the standing 450 splash. You know, Jay Pierce is going to be gutted about this one, ladies and gentlemen, because Jay Pierce was dominating this contest to the point that I was saying that Jay Pierce might get picked up by someone else here in the MPWF. And then Scorpion Zynda said, wait, hold on a minute, I'm in a wrestling match. I need to step my game up right now. But what an incredible battle here on MPWF Underground. Cannot be understated enough how good this matchup was between these two men. Now look at this, Scorpion Zynda here. This is the Blue Thunder Bomb when Zynda realized, look, I gotta change something, and something quick. And now look at this beautiful move here. Diving to the outside of the ring and a tornado DDT. His feet didn't even touch the floor. Look, oh my word. It's as pretty as they come. And then here's the Enziguri. And then bam, wham, thank you ma'am, good night sir, and Scorpion Zynda with the 450 splash, and he gets the victory. And yeah, you can see Scorpion Zynda feeling it now after that one. But what he needs to do now is, tonight was great, but we got another episode of Underground coming up. We got another episode of Annihilation. It's time to get your victory, Zynda. It's time to get your victory. Huge win for the man here tonight. I know Jay Pierce is upset. Oh, wait a minute. Jay Pierce is really upset. Jay Pierce assaulting Scorpion Zynda on the outside of the ring after the matchup. And Jay Pierce just proven that he is a sore loser, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only way to describe it. The only way to put it. And now a drop toe hold there by Jay Pierce, and now look at this. Jay Pierce with the crossface on Scorpion Zynda on the outside of the ring. Jay Pierce is frustrated because he has had many great matches here but not gotten the victory, and it's getting to him now. And this crowd here not happy about it at all in Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Pierce has done the damage to Scorpion Zynda. Well, folks, again, it's like one step forward, two steps back to Scorpion Zynda. He picks up the victory, but gets assaulted after the matchup by Jay Pierce. But ladies and gentlemen, if you want more updates for the MPWF or to see pictures or any more information, follow us on X at MPWF 2013, where you can see all that action. We're also on Instagram as well, MPWF Forever. Make sure you check those out. You see officials now helping Scorpion Zynda to the back. Again, it was a good moment for him, but Jay Pierce really putting the damage on Mr. Scorpion Zynda. Wait a minute. It's that Queen Latifah playing on the... Wait a second here. Lil Bea5t making her way to the ring, and this is a little different, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we know that the ATL is in a rocky patch right now. If maybe not even rocky, it might be the end of the ATL. Lil Bea5t got powerbombed through the windshield of a car on our previous edition and directly helped Ingrid eliminate 6 from the Royal Rumble matchup. So we're going to hear from Lil Bea5t here tonight, one of the longest standing tag teams in the women's division. And they could be completely separate here in the MPWF, and that's not good for them going into WrestleMania. Again, you see how strong the tag team division is getting with the Blackhearts appearing. We know that Fear and Violence were close to taking the titles off of Strikeforce, as well as the BFFs and the Popular Table and Super Slam Showdown. This division is getting stronger and stronger, and the ATL breaking apart may be not the right move right now, but we're going to hear as Harry Prince is in the ring, and he says Lil Bea5t has been a rocky road for you and 6 recently after she powerbombed you through a car window and you helped eliminate her from the Royal Rumble match. It seems that the ATL is over. Can you reveal if it is to us? Crowd here booing Lil Bea5t. She says, I'm not going to hold you. The ATL is over. But for real, it's been over for a long time. 6 has been on this ego trip for a long time. All she wants is the Women's World Championship, and I don't blame her. I was the first CAW Women's World Champion. I want the title more than anything, but I never would have sacrificed our partnership. 6 knows the real me. She knows me as Crystal Crawford. Now wait a second, this is the first time that we have heard the name of Lil Bea5t here in the MPWF, and she was the first ever CAW Women's World Champion. And she says, and I've known her Sunshine Fitzgerald. I know, crazy, right? We were surprised. We were supposed to be in this thing together. I celebrated her success, encouraged it. Y'all don't know about the mental gymnastics and politics it took for us to win the tag team titles, and we lost them quick. I heard her back when she lost the Underground title match, but she didn't have mine. Janetti is a taboo word in my house, and I ain't no Janetti. Well, folks, I was popping because, again, Six's real name is Sunshine Fitzgerald. We know that she is the cousin to Justice, but I mean, that's why she changed her name to Six, because how dangerous could you be being called Sunshine? And she says she powerbombed me through a car windshield. You think I'm supposed to forget that? No shot. Next episode, we're going to go one-on-one. Sunshine, this ain't Lil Beast you're facing. This is a pissed off friend that you turned your back on named Crystal Crawford. And it's like I mentioned earlier in the interview. Prince, I was the first CW Women's World Champion, and it's time I show everyone who Crystal Crawford is. Now, wait a minute. This is a little different by Lil Beast. Again, using a real name here. And was able to turn the crowd's boos into cheers. But not just that. We have found out that on our next episode of Underground, it is going to be Beast versus Six, one-on-one, and they're going to look to tear this building down, folks. And you got to appreciate the mic work there of Lil Beast able to get the crowd on the side here by the time this is done. But I'm being told that we're going to head to the back because Richard Hawkins is with Scorpion Zynda, and that is right. Zynda recovering after being taken out by Jay Pierce. And Hawkins says, "Wake up, you damn fool. Everyone is changing but you. Sure, you got a win here, a win there, but it doesn't bother you that you got punked by Jay Pierce? You are better than this score. You are on the same level as Marcus, and he is the MPWF World Champion. You are just a loser. You should be a winner. What are you holding on to? You beat me, damn it. If you join the family, your potential could be realized. It's time for the World Fighter becomes a top dog in this business." It's a very, very lucrative offer that is being extended by Richard Hawkins. And Scorpion Zynda is going to have to make a decision here quicker. Now, wait a minute. Hawkins walking into Jason Holiday. And Jason says, "Look, I know we had this conversation back when you had the legit ones, but I want more. I really do. The last time the MPWF had an Elimination Chamber match, I was competing in it for the MPWF World title. Now I'm sitting here with my thumb up my ass. Hawkins, give me a chance. I could be an asset to the family. I want to be the world champion. I want to be the YouTube champion. Scorpion doesn't want it. He wants to be mediocre. I want to be legit." Well, Jason Holiday making his plea to Richard Hawkins, and Hawkins says, "I appreciate you coming to me. I can see the hunger in your eyes. The family may be able to use you, but first you may need to break a certain angel's wings if you want to make it to the top." Interesting, folks. Moves. Hector Flores will be a welcome addition to the Annihilation brand and is the first wrestler from the Superstar Initiative to get that signing. And wait a minute, this Malcolm Gray, the man he defeated. And now wait a minute, and again, let's not forget that T-Dot got involved in his rivalry with Malcolm Gray that led to Hector Flores getting the victory. But again, his performance was unbelievable here. And Malcolm Gray, a sore loser now, has Hector Flores, and what's he going for here? And now wait a minute, oh my God! Oh, what have you done, Malcolm? Oh my God, he just destroyed Hector Flores. And Malcolm says, "What a load of BS. You got the job off the strength of my back. You got a job because T-Dot helped you. Well, you got the job because of me, and now you lost it because of me. I am public enemy number one. It's time you people start feeling the pressure." Malcolm Gray just destroyed Hector Flores here, folks. Again, he's going to suffer for this. Suspension, right? Has to be. So this goes back to a theme of discussion from earlier tonight, folks. We saw what Malcolm Gray did to Hector Flores. Big signing, big opportunity, and he's been out of action since that moment because of this man. And again, his mother is Meredith Gray, the COO of the MPWF. Now, we know that he has been fined. I can legitimately prove that. But that's it. He's about to compete tonight. And again, he thinks it's a demotion because he's an MPWF Underground, which is ridiculous in itself. But some of these wrestlers are not getting their just desserts for some of the actions that they're pulling here. Whether it's SCUM, whether it's Malcolm Gray, whether it's the Void attacking people, is paying to be evil in the MPWF because you're getting away with it. At some point, something has to be done. That's all I'm saying. And now I sound like Brian Adams and KK Clam questioning Meredith Gray's methods. It just could be that we're out the honeymoon period of not having Mason Gray in the MPWF, and I'm certainly not advocating for Mason Gray to come back. Absolutely not. But something has to be done here. Maybe I'm overthinking this, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I'm making something out of nothing. But you can hear from this crowd, folks, that they, at least dislike Malcolm Gray and his actions. But I think Malcolm Gray himself is starting to discover in the MPWF, everything he's ever done in his life has been easy. He's what, 6'4", 6'5", has been in incredible shape, played college sports without trying. But you got to try in the MPWF, and I think that's really getting to him. And here comes a man that isn't as physically gifted as Malcolm Gray, per se. Is Mr. CQ himself, Cole Quinn. But Cole Quinn is here fighting for a friend. Cole Quinn went to KK Clan and said, if no one is going to step up to Malcolm Gray, I will. That's my boy Hector Flores that he took out of action. Cole Quinn said, I'm not afraid of Malcolm Gray. I'm going to bring the fight to him here tonight on the Underground. And you know what? I respect that of Cole Quinn. Cole Quinn had a great matchup with Charlie G on Annihilation. He beat Jay Pierce a couple episodes back on MPWF Underground. So Cole Quinn right now has a lot of momentum, and he could be sacrificing that against Malcolm Gray, but forget all of that. This is about fighting for your friends, and you can only respect that. Just the issue is when you get in the ring with Malcolm Gray, like I said, one of the most physically gifted wrestlers we have ever seen in this federation. But Cole Quinn himself has been impressing, and Hector Flores, the first member of the Superstar Initiative to sign a full-time contract with the MPWF and the Annihilation brand. I think Cole Quinn is pretty close. And wow, if he beats Malcolm Gray, I think KK Clam may have just got himself the newest tag team on Annihilation in Flores and Cole Quinn. If he can pull this off here tonight. Look at the focus on Malcolm Gray though. Malcolm Gray usually more calm and collected, but a very different demeanor. And Cole Quinn though, jumping Malcolm Gray here. And he's going to try and teach Malcolm some respect. And what a clothesline there. And now, went for the knee, and Malcolm Gray moved out the way. And now, wait a minute, Malcolm got him here for the jackknife powerbomb already. This is bad here for Cole Quinn, and he gets dropped with it. And the public enemy of the MPWF may have just ended this one like that, folks. And now he just throws Cole Quinn into the buckle, and now this is bad for Cole Quinn. And if I was the referee, I'd be thinking about stopping this one, folks. Just like how Cat Smalls threw in the towel to help Serenity. Well, again, even that's controversial in itself. But I'd be throwing in a towel for Cole Quinn, because this ain't looking good at all. Malcolm. Look at his demeanor, folks. This is a very different Malcolm Gray we're seeing here on the Annihilation brand in the MPWF. And now Cole Quinn goes face first there on the announce table. He's frustrated. Malcolm would have thought that when he went to the MPWF that he'd probably be world champion by now. He probably thought it'd be easy. But he hasn't won a single championship yet since joining the MPWF. And his mum owns the company, is a COO. His uncle was running the company, and he is yet to win a championship. So physical gifts, nepotism, good looks have not helped him, and that is completely off for him. And you can hear by this reaction from the crowd that they aren't happy with what he did to Hector Flores. But Cole Quinn moving out the way, and Malcolm Gray catching his foot here, and now Malcolm Gray with the spine buster there to Cole Quinn. Cole Quinn is trying, but I don't think he can do much more here in this situation. And I look at those stomps there by Malcolm. Brother Malcolm dominating Cole Quinn here. And now he's got it right up on those shoulders. And now Cole Quinn face first there on the ropes, or throat first. You can take it the way you see it, have it the way you want it. utter domination by Malcolm Gray. And a big boot there dropping down Cole Quinn. There's not much to say here, folks. This is just an ass whooping. That's pretty much the best way to describe it. And there's the full Nelson by Malcolm. And now look at this. And Cole Quinn having to tap out immediately. And, you know, that was perhaps the most physically impressive match of Malcolm Gray's career. And he didn't even cheat this time. He didn't even break the rules, so I'll give him respect for that at least. But something in that loss to T-Dot, in that loss to Hector Flores, has snapped in Malcolm Gray. I think he has realized that he needs more than talent to succeed here in the MPWF. Look at this immediately, and Cole Quinn could feel his neck snapping. And Malcolm Gray, wait a minute now, wait a minute. Oh, what the hell is this? He just punched the referee. See, this is what I'm talking about. The repercussions for your actions. He just sucker punched the referee. And now he's got Cole Quinn up in a powerbomb position and powerbombs him on the barricade. Oh my word, folks. Malcolm Gray has completely snapped here. And now, goodness gracious me, his back may already be broken. The referee is out cold. Oh no, he's going to jackknife powerbomb Cole Quinn again. And, oh no, he's not. He's going to jackknife him to the floor. And Cole Quinn has just got destroyed there, folks. Now, he did Cole Quinn like Rocky was done in the Power Rangers Turbo movie. And now look at this here. He's just beating up the official. Again, I don't care who your parents are. Something has to be done about this. And wait a minute. Oh wait, there's Feng Lee, the cyberpunk. And Feng Lee over the chair. Malcolm Gray moves out the way but gets hit the second time. Feng Lee didn't even waste time to use his fist. He brought a chair. Now look at that. Malcolm Gray escaping here. Not wanting any part of Feng Lee with that chair. And Feng Lee, someone finally standing up to Malcolm Gray here. The cyberpunk telling Malcolm Gray, let's fight then. Let's fight. And Malcolm Gray decided, no, not tonight. Said something has changed in the DNA of Malcolm Gray. But Feng Lee ain't going to sit back and watch that any longer. A very interesting development that has just grown here between these two men here on the Annihilation brand. I said, repercussions have to come, folks. Have to come.
Let's get it on from city to city. The future looks bright, but it ain't looking pretty. Come on. Come on. Now here comes the problem. Here comes the joke. The more that you breathe and the more that you choke. Come on. Come on. The choices of many will add up to none. The feelings of fear and the rest just run. Come on. Come on. What's mine is mine. What's yours is mine. You must understand that this ain't a crime. Now turn it back when you cross the line. People, come on, it's riot time. 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 Riot time
And there it is, folks. If you have not seen CWG Genesis, go to our Core Wrestling Global channel. Unbelievable, as I've stated plenty of times in this week cycle of the MPWF, but it truly was like, you want to see a fresh take on Core Wrestling, go and check out that show. It is completely cinematic. It's amazing. But here we are, tag team competition in the women's tag team division, as we mentioned earlier. The Blackhearts in action here. And controversy has been running the MPWF. I've mentioned it on Annihilation. I mentioned it here tonight. But the Blackhearts going out of their way and interrupting the tag team title matchup just as Strikeforce was about to win. Now Shanti Capoeira was looking to get the pinfall on Sasha Fierce, and they took out Fear of Violence and Strikeforce and stood tall with the tag team titles. And you know, now here they are looking to pick up a victory and move on in the tag team division. As Molly Holly and Wendy Chu, that's a random ass tag team, they're going to be competing against them here tonight. I didn't literally did Brian Adams press hit random and got that tag team. I don't even know how he pulled that off. But nice arm drag there by Molly Holly, a veteran of the game, will get cheered by the crowd. Nice insecurity there by Shotzi. But Dakota Kai and Shotzi Blackheart again wanting to step up here. WrestleMania is on the horizon. And you know, I mentioned Super Slam Showdown. The winner of the BFFs and the Popular Tables Tag Team match will earn a shot at the tag team titles on episode 6 of Super Slam Showdown, The Legends of the Tag Team Quest. So that would be the next women's tag team title matchup. So we are getting, this division is growing across the board, and you can join me and Sierra for Super Slam Showdown and find out who the number one contenders will be Sunday morning at 10 a.m. folks. But in comes Wendy Chu now and Molly Holly, and Wendy Chu here with a double hit block takeover. Again, how random would it be if they would win tonight and we get a tag team of Wendy Chu and Molly Holly? I don't even know what the gimmick would be. I couldn't even tell you how you would actually pair these two together. I don't think these two would hang out on a street somewhere. Yeah, they certainly ain't going to a bar. Wendy Chu's narcoleptic, so she's going to be asleep. So I don't know how that's going to work at all. As I take a drink of water here as we continue this action on Underground, as Dakota Kai and Shotzi are pulling off frequent tags here. And now, double super kick to Wendy Chu. Very impressive. Shotzi taking a shot at that leg of Wendy. And you know, it's attitude adjustments all over the MPWF. You know, it's time to step up. You're going to hear me, I'm going to sound like a parrot on the way to WrestleMania. I mentioned before, it's not a two-night show. It's one night. Which means we got about 10 matches in one night. And if you want to be on the grandest stage of them all, if you want to be on the biggest show, you have between now and WrestleMania to prove yourself. It's a lot of pressure for everyone in the MPWF, but pressure creates diamonds, folks. Shotzi again tagging in Dakota Kai, and they are putting the whooping to Wendy Chu. Instead of going to sleep involuntarily, she might be going to sleep courtesy of the Blackhearts here. I didn't even come up with that narcoleptic gimmick. Were they watching Rat Race? Wait a minute, I just aged myself again. How many of you have even watched Rat Race? I'm sure it's on Tubi somewhere. What a great movie. But now, a kick to the head there by Dakota Kai to Wendy Chu. And Wendy needs to make the tag here to Molly Holly. And Dakota Kai, not going to let that happen at all. And now look at this, Dakota Kai smashing her to the floor. Dakota Kai, a multi-time women's tag team champion. Shotzi again has wrestled all over the world. And now elbow drop there. And if Shotzi has won the tag team titles, I apologize. I know she's won championships in the independents all over. And now there's a Hurricane Rana there by Shotzi taking down Wendy. And now Shotzi sends Wendy into the ropes. And what a knee strike there by Shotzi. And Wendy, though, makes the tag, and in comes Molly Holly. Multi-time women's champion. I've heard rumors that she is a superhero in her off time. And she hits that clothesline there on Shotzi. And Molly picks it back up. And a kick to the midsection. And another strike. And now takedown there by Molly Holly. And now, drop kick. Now, you know, I popped for the Iron Sheik earlier, but if Molly Holly hits the Molly go around, we're going crazy in this household, folks. As Molly, oh, another big clothesline, knocking out Shotzi. And now look at this here, going for the rear naked choke, goes Molly Holly to Shotzi Blackheart. And she is trying to squeeze on her, but now Shotzi fights back with the elbow, and now goes for the cover here, and the referee slow to the count because he got beat up by Malcolm Gray in our previous matchup. These referees are sure tough though, because I don't know how he's back here and standing. But now, wait a minute, Shotzi there with a Salida del Sol on Molly Holly. And now Shotzi to send Molly to Dakota Kai. And now makes the tag, and now what's what the Blackhearts going for here? And now, oh, a DDT. And now kicks Molly all the way into a German suplex. And that one has got to be it, folks. That was a big move there. And Dakota knocks Wendy Chu off the apron. Molly Holly starfishing in the middle of the ring. And now there's the cover. 2. And a victory for the Blackhearts. You know what I'm about to say next, folks? Momentum, momentum, momentum. They came out, they made a statement of war. They came out here on Underground and backed it up. Cannot disrespect that. Cannot disrespect that at all. Crowd might not be happy about it, but the Blackhearts coming out here and picking up the win was big. Now look at this here, double super kick. Bam! And they just beat a woman who suffers from narcolepsia, jeez, can't even speak properly, and a legend, Molly Holly. What a phenomenal theme song as well. Like, you know, it sounds like Dragon Ball Z fight music. It's incredible. There's the Salida Soul by Shotzi Blackheart. And now right here is a double team move here, and we got to come up with a name for it, ladies and gentlemen. As always, comment in the section below, what should the Blackhearts call this DDT into the German suplex? And this crowd letting them have it here tonight. But they just sent a message to the entire women's tag team division, and they got the tag team titles on their mind, folks. On their mind. Now I'm being told in my headset, Michelle Meadow making her way to the ring because we're going to hear an interview from the Blackhearts. Now listen to this crowd. They are not happy with the Blackhearts interrupting that tag team title match on War. And Michelle Meadow had to sprint to get to the ring here to talk to them right now. And she says, firstly, the Blackhearts is one of the coolest names ever. But secondly, and more importantly, you two have made a major statement recently here on War. We know that you two are after the women's tag team titles, but why this new attitude change? And that's what we're here to find out, folks. And Kai says, Shotzi and I are some of the most underrated talents in wrestling currently. We should be tearing up on the main stage, but everyone either keeps treating us like a joke, or they don't believe we are worth the investment. Well, now we are investing in ourselves. We are making our own luck. The MPWF is where we want to be, and we're going to demonstrate that we are better than Strike Force, better than Fear and Violence, better than Nightmare Fuel, and we're going to do that by becoming the MPWF Tag Team Champions. Well, again, very confident is Dakota Kai and Shotzi, and she says we are tired of playing nice because of all these people, because of management, because of promoters. Our good nature has turned us into the Blackhearts. You think you're going to forget us? We're going to cause anarchy in the MPWF. Shotzi and Dakota Kai are a problem. We're going to be everyone's headache. No team is better than us. I'm going to rock the boat. Tell all those bees in the back that the ballsy Blackhearts are going to turn this mother upside down. Well, folks, you heard it here from the Blackhearts. They are coming for it all on MPWF War. They want the Women's Tag Team Championships. And if I was every tag team in this division, I would be paying strong attention to these two women. Now hold on a moment. Harry Prince is with MPWF legend Helga. And Helga says, no questions, little man. This is a statement. Ingrid is going to win the CW Women's World title at Destiny. But after that, Nightmare Fuel is going to re-enter the tag team division and win back our tag team titles. The Blackhearts are very confident because they haven't faced us. Everyone is very confident because they haven't experienced Nightmare Fuel. I'm thinking next episode that I, Helga, remind people of what a nightmare I can be. Well, that is bad news bears for everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Nightmare Fuel looking to re-enter the tag team division as well. Helga wanting to fight. It's bad news. It is bad news. But folks, it is that time. Because if you're younger, it's time for your bed. If you're older, it is also time for your bed. Because we're at our main event here for late night MPWF Underground, and what a matchup it's going to be. And now we have John Smith representing Team Bloodshed with Shane Riley. I got a chance to speak to Shane Riley, and he was cussing like a sailor, folks. He was pissed off that he missed out on history thanks to Ricky Cash. But again, it was Shane Riley that took exception to the words that Ricky Cash threw at him, and then speared Ricky Cash through a barricade, breaking his ribs. Speared him at the Royal Rumble. So, you know, again, repercussions. What you think is going to happen? You think you can just break a man's ribs and he's going to go, oh, sorry, Shane Riley. I'm sorry, brother. You're really big and dangerous. And he is really big and dangerous. But they're men here in the MPWF, and they're going to fight. And Ricky Cash is going to bring the fight to Shane Riley. And he did. And Charlie Jean ended up walking away with the MPWF Light Heavyweight Championship. John Smith, a former tag team champion, once had that pretty blonde hair, was good looking, like, no word of a lie, good looking man. And now he looks scary as hell. His neck is massive. You got goose eggs for latissimus muscles, goose eggs for trapezius muscles, ladies and gentlemen, since being a part of Team Bloodshed. And they all love to fight, and he's gonna have a hell of a fight against him. A hell of a fight for him against the Avenger coming up next. I'm just hoping that we hit King of Rock, because I know that Ricky Cash is coming out with the Avenger, and that usually means a Cash Money Inc. reunion, and that usually means King of Rock. So I'm crossing my fingers. Not that I don't like the Avenger's usual song. Blame on the Boom Boom is great, but that Run DMC, ladies and gentlemen. Yes! Sucker MC should call me sire. To smoke my kingdom, you must use fire. He won't start rocking till he retires. Here comes the Avenger and Ricky Cash. Cash Money Incorporated. Right here is where I become completely biased. These two young kids, John Smith and Shane Riley, impressive. But you come out to that Run DMC, you will get me on your side every single time, ladies and gentlemen. The next episode is to come out to Sucker MCs, and then it's a real party in here, ladies and gentlemen. You can hear me rapping every single word as someone comes to the ring. But here we go, main event time in the Underground. Ricky Cash still recovering, not in action. And all of that thanks to Shane Riley, who is going to be on the outside of the ring. And this one, as I mentioned before, is going to be a hard-hitting fight, folks. So here we go. Avenger and John Smith. John Smith, a former NCAA Division I champion. The Avenger is a former bar fighter. As you see with that clothesline, Avenger will punch you in the mouth. One of the 5 fingers say to the face, splat. That's what the Avengers game plan is here tonight. As John Smith experiencing that here. Hey, look at how much size John Smith has put on, folks. John Smith is a beast. And now look at this, able to push the Avenger to the corner. The referee trying to break it up here. Oh, cheap shot there by John Smith. Again, you got to ask yourself, did they learn that in the Bloodshed school, in the Bloodshed fight school? Cheap shots? I don't think so. But the Avenger just woke him up. It just made him happy. Yeah, we talked about that matchup he had against Systematic Carnage, which was incredible on the Underground. But the Avenger was just happy. This is his happy place. This is how he relaxes. You know? You and I, family members, they relax by going on a beach. They relax by having a bath. They relax by listening to some Mozart, some classical music. Avenger relaxes by doing what he's about to do right here and whooping someone's ass. That's relaxation for the Avenger. And as a fall away slam into the corner in the steel steps, because Shane Riley was trying to bring weapons in for John Smith here, and the Avenger taking exception to it, and John Smith there with a shot to the midsection, and there's an uppercut. And now an elbow there by John Smith. And now dropping the knee there on the Avenger. And again, that momentary distraction by Shane Riley was enough to give John Smith the advantage against the Avenger, and a hip lock takeover there by the big man. And we talked about it when the Avenger comes out. And I talk about this again, not to disrespect the Avenger, but as respect. The Avenger coming to terms with the fact that he's getting older, and he might not be the world champion. Some people, that ruins your career. You go, I failed. The Avenger goes, you know, it just didn't happen. But I can still fight. I still love the game. As he, oh Jesus, he just German suplex around his head. What the? Oh my goodness gracious me! How the hell did John Smith launch him across the ring like that? And the referee kicking out Shane Riley, which is good. There's some repercussions, and again, after getting punched out by Malcolm Gray, the referee saying, to hell with it, I ain't even dealing with this. But John Smith, you see how far he threw the Avenger, and then he just split him open with a headbutt. And John Smith certainly didn't learn that in the NCAA. And this is all learned from Klaus, who again is entering the Elimination Chamber, and is pissed off about not being in a world title matchup since Halloween Havoc. And oh, DDT there by the big man. The Avenger, the man with a badass goatee, still in tremendous shape. I know, 2 boots to the face there by John Smith, and a big Polish hammer dropping down the Avenger. And now look at this here. There's these kicks that he's been learning in the Bloodshed Fight School, and an elbow by John Smith, and quickly going to the cover. Now you got Ricky Cash coaching the Avenger on the outside of the ring. And honestly, if Ricky Cash had returned maybe 4 or 5 years earlier, Ricky Cash may have been managing the Varsity Club. He out there giving pointers to the Avenger. But let's not forget, Ricky Cash was the 2004 Greco-Roman gold medalist. So, you know, Ricky Cash, an extremely accomplished amateur of his own. And now there's a Celtic drop there by the Avenger. Going for the cover here on John Smith. John Smith gives up height to the Avenger, but certainly not that power. You know, that's going to be in a highlight reel for time to come, throwing the Avenger across the ring. And now John Smith now, and oh, wait a minute, he just used the Avenger's power bomb. And John Smith, he developed quite a personality here. He ain't to be messed with. John Smith ain't to be messed with. And now look at this, deadlifting the Avenger, and what a slam there. Deadlift, gut wrench suplex there by John Smith. And now he wants the Avenger to get to his feet, completely on his own, and a double axe hammer dropping the Avenger. There's no Klaus, there's no Shane Riley, and now we're really going to see what John Smith brings to the table here in this matchup. And let's not forget the food fight that took place on the Annihilation, which resulted in Team Bloodshed taking out Cash Money Inc. in catering. Nice reversal there out the ankle lock by the Avenger. And now the Avenger there, and there's the bicycle kick, the knockout shot, and that might be it for the main event. Ricky Cash says it is, and now John Smith gets the shoulder up. Now Ricky Cash thought that was it, because the Avenger hit all of that. And now the Avenger has John Smith on his shoulders, and there's a steamroller there. And now the Avenger going to the top rope, and a man of his size, this is dangerous. Ain't no need for the Avenger to be here on the top rope. And the Avenger now up the top with a big clothesline. What a clothesline up the top by the Avenger. Hooking the leg here on John Smith with the cover. And John Smith gets the shoulder up. Great move off the top there by the big man. And now he's got John Smith to his feet. And now sends him into the ropes. And now nice reversal there. Look at that kick to the knees And now look at this, John Smith with the bear hug. And again, the amount of power it takes to squeeze the life out the man who is the size of the Avenger. But the Avenger now with an elbow right to the base of the neck of John Smith in the Mongolian chop. What a main event matchup this is, folks. It's a fight from the get-go, and I am loving it. And the Avenger sends John Smith into the turnbuckle. And now the big man has him on the buckle, but no. John Smith fights back, right hand there by Smith. And now Smith here with a back suplex and throws the Avenger across the ring again. Didn't get the elevation he did in that first throw, but nonetheless, it was still did the damage as John Smith now here has him in that teardrop suplex. Now look at that forearm right to the face there. John Smith making sure to brush his elbow against that open wound of the Avenger. And ooh, what a cannonball there by John Smith. My God, how much he's improved. How much has John Smith improved? And there's the body splash off the top turnbuckle with the cover. 2, and the Avenger just about getting the shoulder up. Ricky Cash is yelling instructions at the Avenger right now because John Smith is moments away from perhaps the biggest singles win of his career. And now, look at these body shots there by the Avenger. And now he's got him right back up again for that Celtic drop. And now the Avenger drops it right on the base of the neck again. Avenger needs that power bomb. If he can get it, he'll get the win here. And now, wait a second, a back suplex right to the base of the neck, and the Avenger has found a weak spot on John Smith here. And now the Avenger on the outside. Wait a minute, what's the Avenger going for here? And the Avenger dives from the outside to the inside. Taking down John Smith with a big shoulder tackle. 2, and Smith gets the shoulder up. One hell of a fight here, folks. As the Avenger now sending John Smith into the buckle, staying on his man. And missing that splash. And now John Smith running into the Avenger. The right hand there by John Smith. And now here comes that power again. And now what a slam there by Smith. Hooking the leg here on the Avenger for the cover. 2. The Avenger gets the shoulder up. And Ricky Cash saying, that's my boy. My boy ain't done yet. And John Smith now saying to the official that should have been it. And now the Avenger having to get to his feet as John Smith on the top rope. And John Smith just threw his body at the Avenger, but I don't know if he got all of it. But he just launched his entire body at him with the cover. 2. Oh my goodness. And there may be the repercussions of getting punched out by Malcolm Gray earlier, because that was a slow count by the official. And John Smith now pissed off at Ricky Cash there. But the Avenger blocks it. And the Avenger, nice takedown there by the Avenger in a second one. John Smith getting up quickly and runs right into a tilt-a-whirl slam there by the Avenger. And this is awesome. This is an incredible main event here in Underground. And Ricky Cash getting this crowd to fire up. And what a knee strike there by the Avenger. A knockout shot by the big man. John Smith out on the floor. 2. Now John Smith gets the shoulder up again. And now the Avenger's questioning things here. And you know you're bringing the fight to the Avenger if he's wanting to get out of it. And I went for the big clothesline. John Smith able to duck it. Smith now collar elbow tie. And our whip sends the Avenger into the bucket. And now Smith this time misses. And the Avenger gonna go. I thought he was gonna go for that Celtic drop, or maybe this. Yeah, there's the steamroller for the second time. And now he could be looking for the power bomb. And now the Avenger has him up, and there it is. That is the original by the Avenger. And look at the way he's putting his shoulders to the mat. And Ricky Cash with the Jose Mourinho on the outside of the ring saying, no way, it's done. It's done. And the Avenger picks up a big win here in the main event of MPWF Underground episode 22. And what a matchup that was. John Smith ain't got nothing to be ashamed of in that one. No Shane Riley, no clouts, and John Smith, he brought the fight to the Avenger. Look at the Avenger when this one is all said and done. He's got welts on his back, he's got welts on his chest, he's bleeding. And the Avenger able to use that veteran experience to pull out the win here tonight. Look at this. Look at the power of John Smith with this move. Yeah, you see Ricky Cash on the outside thought that was it. He thought that was it. And look at this. Oh man, if he could have got just a tad bit more of that move, I think John Smith gets the win here. And I look at this, the referee still weak for Malcolm Gray. If the referee was in perfect shape, I think John Smith takes the win here. But again, it's pulling in deep. It's that experience level. The Avenger has had to pull in deep plenty of times. And there it was. The Avenger bomb. And that was the 3 count. I love that. The Jose Mourinho on the outside there by Ricky Cash. Saying that's it. Ricky Cash, his ribs are hurting him from the celebration. But the Avenger with the win here tonight. And a big victory for Cash Money Incorporated. Oh, wait a minute, what's happening here? Somebody forget to pay the light bill? What's going on here? And oh no. We saw the Void attack the West Dublin Connection on Annihilation. And Abraham and Gabriel sending another message to the tag team division here. They want competition. They want to take some souls to the Void. And now, oh God, what a strike there. And a swanton bomb off the top rope. Look, I'll tell you this. Ask and you shall receive. You want to fight? You don't think that the West Dublin Connection, you don't think that Cash Money Incorporated, you don't think that Team Bloodshed ain't going to come out here and bring the fight to you guys for the tag team titles? Again, another statement made by the Void, but I think that, their question is about to be answered. I think soon, somebody coming after the tag team championships. But ladies and gentlemen, that is all for tonight. It's bedtime, folks. Get the hell out of here. Thank you for tuning in and watching MPWF Underground. My name's Dwayne James Johnny Feelgood. We will see you and your family 10 a.m. Sunday morning for Super Slam Showdown. Good night, folks. I'm signing out.